Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Of all the problems which faced the frontier marshal, the matter of cattle stealing or rustling was the most dangerous. It was not a crime confined to hoodlums or fly-by-night cattle spreads. Many of the biggest cattlemen of the day were involved. To Marshal Wyatt Earp, a rustler was a rustler, big or small, and this belief plunged him into the notorious Rep Cantwell case. Dodge City erupted in bitter words and deadly gunfights.
All the drinks are on me, boys. 2,000 head and a rough trail, but they're all fat and sassy.
Good job. Yeah, break it right up.
Mr. Cantwell?
Oh, howdy, Marshal. Take a chair and I'll buy you the best milk in the house.
Mr. Cantwell, I'd like to see you alone in the back room, if I may.
Oh, some of my boys in trouble? Well, here, I'll bail them out.
No, sir.
I can't wait? No. Well, excuse me, gentlemen.
He was a sure good family, though. I'll tell you, it's all free. Come on, drink now.
Well, what have they done?
Mr. Cantwell, I have a warrant for your arrest.
What?
5 members of the Cattlemen's Association have accused you of rustling.
You calling me a rustler?
Well, sir, I caught 2 of your boys just outside of town with warm irons.
Why, you...
Look, I want to do this quiet.
Who named against me? Just name them.
Your lawyer can read the complaint. I want you to walk over to Judge Tobin's office and post your bond.
Me accused of rustling. There's going to be some fighting about this. I'll find out who signed against me.
The boss is in trouble, ma'am.
Mr. Cantwell in trouble?
There's talk that Earp and Shotgun Gibbs jumped one of his wagons outside of Dodge. And there's also talk he's been accused of rustling.
Smiley, that's absurd.
You reckon Mel Dana here signed a complaint or something?
Mr. Danaher? Oh, he wouldn't do a thing like that. Just because he and Mr. Cantwell have been... Is Mr. Danaher in town?
Well, here at the Dodge House, ma'am.
I'll look into it.
Well, would you do it quick, ma'am? Some of us Bar Q boys are getting a mite edgy.
Here's bail for myself and my men. Now, can I see the names on that complaint?
Please, Judge. Not until he's formally arraigned.
Wyatt really means we want you to cool off, Rep.
Cool off. I'll get the names. I warned you they'd be shooting about this.
There will be shooting. Why can't you ease up on this thing?
5 men signed the complaint, Jim.
Old Rep stole a few mavericks in his day like a lot of other cattlemen I know.
The law says it's a felony, Mr. Mayor.
Sure, but the men accusing him, they've rustled stock same as him.
Well, the Cattlemen's Association had the law passed. Now, if they don't want their members treated the same as hoodlums, then they should have the law repealed.
You want shooting in the streets over this?
I agree with Wyatt. Those ranchers will lynch a little rustler. When the truth hits them, they threaten gunplay. I think the question of who's a cattle thief should be settled in open court.
I can't understand why you did it. You and Rep have been my dearest friends since Dave was killed. Why, Mel?
Because you're going to marry Rep.
He hasn't asked me.
He will.
Not now. Not with this rustling business to contend with. You've put your brand on stray cattle, and so have those men who signed the complaint with you.
Well, it's done now.
Well, you can go to Judge Tobin and withdraw the complaint.
Big-hearted Mel.
You were jealous, and I'm flattered, Mel. But Rep and his boys will go to shooting.
All right, let him. Emily, he's no good. I stopped those sharp tricks years ago, and Rep's kept right on. I ain't much better.
Mel, you've got Rep all wrong. His foreman and his cowhands do the stealing. He's too easy with them.
He sure is.
He sent me some steers after the drought wiped me out last summer, and half of them had doctored brands. Do you think Rep would do a thing like that? He just told his foreman to lend me so many head, and the boys palmed off the Russell steers.
All right. I'll talk to the judge.
Thanks, Mel.
You and the judge are just a-heading for needless trouble there.
How's that, Mr. Gibbs?
Well, there's maybe 50,000 head of cattle driving towards the railroad. I ain't never seen a cow outfit yet that didn't steal a lost dogie or put its own brand on a maverick.
Well, you missed the point.
I reckon I do.
Judge Tobin and I think the law against rustling is too severe. Now, by enforcing it against the big fellas, maybe we can show them all up as hypocrites.
Yeah, and show me up, too.
You're a rustler?
Well, you see, I found Roscoe on the prairie when he was just a colt. He'd been brush branded, but I knowed the hair'd grow out and cover it up.
Why, Mr. Gibbs.
When I got my side of it, too. If I hadn't have found Roscoe, he'd have died in the next blizzard. But strictly speaking, I'm a rustler.
Mr. Gibbs, your secret is safe with me.
That ain't funny, what? Rustling's a fighting word. Mayor Kelly's plumb right. You ought to drop that case again, Cantwell.
Now, don't start anything, and don't take any name-calling either. And leave Mel Danaher to me. I have an idea his name is on that complaint. Have it! Get down there.
Nick, run get McCarty. How'd this happen?
Tony Josh Buck about being a rustler.
Mel, Tony Levitt and the Bar Q hand just shot it out. Both hit. Put on your gun belt, Mel. Them Bar Qers are after us.
I was gonna drop charges.
Too late now. Shooting's commenced.
Take him on over to the jail. I'm going to see Judge Tobin.
Move along.
You, say you disarmed most of them?
Rep Cantwell, Mel Danaher are still out gunning for each other.
Danaher? He's one of the men who signed the complaint, isn't he?
Yes, sir. And he got the 4 others to sign it, too. They'll be here tonight.
Wyatt, maybe we bit off more than we can chew.
Well, you can't back down now, Judge. I'll try and find Cantwell and Danaher. If we put them in jail for gun toting, their men may quit fighting, I hope.
You hope.
Well, I told you, didn't I? If you'd listened to me, I'd have got to the heart of the shindy.
Heart?
The widow Morrison.
What's she got to do with it?
Rep and Mel have both been courting. Rep won out. So Mel cooked up this stupid rustling complaint. She's over at the Dodge Hotel. You better go over there and talk to her quick. She might be able to stop this quarrel. But the first thing we got to do is dismiss this case against Rep.
I don't know.
You do that and you'll have your cowhands thinking they can scare the court.
Oh, come off your high horse, Wyatt. This is just plain stubbornness, and you know it.
Mr. Kelly, you want my star again?
Now, gentlemen.
Fine time to talk about turning in your star. Danaher's waiting for his friends, and they'll take Cantwell and the whole town apart.
Well, I'm tucking in my shirt tail. You tuck in yours, Mr. Mayor.
Wyatt thinks I'm just a politician, but I'm trying to use a little common sense.
I know, Jim, I know. I've got to give him a chance to restore law and order.
How long you figure on giving him, Judge?
Not long. Till tomorrow.
Too long, believe me.
I said until tomorrow.
And Mel was going to call it off until some of his men got hurt. He promised me he would.
Mel Danaher started the trouble.
Well, where is he now?
Out on the trail somewhere, looking for more friends to help him make more fight. Yeah, they'll come back with guns, Emily. Well, I told you about Mel and his black Irish temper.
Rep, listen. Please go out to my place and wait there.
I won't run.
It won't be running. With my men and what's left of yours, we can put up an even fight if we have to.
Thanks, honey, but I don't drag you into a fight. I can hire some guns, make it even.
More shooting. No, Rep, please, Yes, who is it?
Marshal Earp, ma'am.
Just a minute. He mustn't find you here. Go through the bedroom and down the fire ladder. Rep, you do as I say.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, I wasn't quite dressed.
That's quite all right, ma'am.
What can I do for you, Marshal?
Oh, I don't know. Mayor Kelly seems to think that you can stop the row between Mr. Cantwell and Mr. Danaher.
I tried to do that. It didn't work.
Oh, what went wrong?
One of Mel's men called one of Rep's men a rustler. Then the guns went off. But the chief trouble is that you and Judge Tobin insist on prosecuting Rep.
Mrs. Morris and I had a veterinarian take a look at the Santa Fe pens. He claims that Mr. Cantwell's herd has been brand tampered.
Well, what herd hasn't? Come down and check my cattle. By your standard, you think I was a rustler, too.
I sure wish you'd have another talk with Mr. Danaher.
He's out on the trail somewhere, waiting for the other hypocrites who signed that complaint.
Would you know where?
No, Mr. Earp. Even if I could find Mel, he wouldn't listen.
Well, I guess I'll just have to try and have a hand at it myself. Sorry to have bothered you.
Sure. You're sorry. You men, Rep out hiring gunfighters, and Mel's coming in with fresh guns.
I didn't pass the rustling law. It's just my job to try and enforce it.
Then why don't you arrest your own chief deputy?
Mr. Gibbs?
Mr. Gibbs. Rep said his mule was hair-branded as a colt. Why don't you ask Mr. Gibbs point blank?
Well, I kind of think it'd be more point blank to try and find Mr. Danaher and arrest him before more shooting starts. But if you want to swear out a complaint against Mr. Gibbs, I'll serve the warrant.
And try to get the evidence?
What do you mean?
Kill the poor animal, skin him, and see if the hair brand shows on the inner side?
I don't think that'd be necessary. If Mr. Gibbs is guilty, I'm sure he'd admit it.
I doubt that very much. But why are we wasting time? All I want now is for you to find Mel and put him where he can't continue this fight.
Well, I'll do my best, ma'am.
We're in trouble.
What went wrong?
Rep and his boys got tetchy. They started shooting.
Well, so can we. Johnny? Yeah. Back to the tavern. Round up a dozen good hands with a gun.
Right. I got a hunch Earp is out looking for me. We better hold up right here till morning.
Mr. Gibbs, you and the day patrol turn in. Things won't pop until daylight.
I'll just make camp here in the office, Wyatt. It's only a couple of hours till sunup.
How did Danaher give us the slip?
Well, maybe he didn't want to have a shootout with Cantwell. Still got him charged with rustling, you know.
Rep's lady friend may charge you with stealing Roscoe.
Why, sure. Bet Better get the gallows ready.
I don't like it, Emily.
I know. You'd rather fight it out with guns.
But stealing a mule and threatening to...
All right, then stay here. I've already told Rance what to do. If it doesn't work, you can still have your gunfight with Mel. And if you live, you'll go to jail for rustling.
Emily.
Goodbye, Rep.
Dear Marshal Earp, unless you dismiss charges against Rep by noon today, I will prove your chief deputy is a rustler. I hate to kill an innocent animal, but the lives of men are more important than beasts. Emily Morrison. Emily Morrison.
Roscoe.
Shotgun!
You tell Judge Tobin to postpone Cantwell's hearing. I'm on my way to the Morrison Ranch.
Ain't that Shotgun Gibbs?
It sure is. I wonder where he's heading. It's mighty strange for Herb to send him away from Dodge right now.
Hold it, boss. Who's that yonder?
Well, I'll be. That's Herb himself.
Herb might have sent Shotgun. He wouldn't leave. Ain't Rep Cantwell up for hearing at 10 o'clock?
No. Rep must have jumped his bail. He skun out on us.
That's the trail to Mrs. Morrison's.
Yeah. Maybe we'll catch him there. Come on.
Oh. Howdy, Mr. Gibbs.
I come from a mule.
He's in the barn. Go get him.
I ain't aiming to kill any of your hounds now. You go get him.
Oh, no.
Too bad, lady. Been a lot of talk in Dodge lately about Brandon. Maybe you ought to be branded.
You wouldn't dare.
I want my mule, and I want him without having to kill any humans. Now, you better go fetch him.
I don't bluff that easy, Mr. Gibbs. I told Marshal Earp what he'd have to do.
Well, I ain't gonna go along with that. And I ain't bluffing.
Put that down. I'll scream and my men'll...
Hold it. Mr. Gibbs, you're under arrest.
He threatened to burn me with that thing.
What'd you expect? Gibbs would be mighty fond of that animal. Have your men go get him.
It's Mel Danaher.
Come on. that city waiting for you.
You're a liar.
And you're jailbait. Lift him.
That's far enough.
All right. Throw your guns right out of here, all of you. Come on. You two, come on.
Come on here.
Am I still under arrest?
Yep. Trespassing on private property, threatening Mrs. Morrison with bodily harm.
Can't even look for Roscoe?
No.
The boss is bringing him.
Roscoe!
Here's your dear friend. I still say Gibbs is a rustler, but I couldn't do what I'd have to prove it. Well, you've won, Mel. The judge will send Rep to prison. I hate you. I hate all of you. And that goes for you double, Mr. Wyatt Earp.
Well, ma'am, I'm kind of used to being hated.
Mrs. Morrison has refused to press charges against Mr. Gibbs. In the case of Mr. Cantwell, charged with cattle rustling. All the complaining witnesses have refused to testify. Mr. Cantwell, however, has agreed to surrender 31 head of doubtfully branded steers. They will be sold for charity. Any comments, Marshal Earp?
Only this, Your Honor. I think the present law against cattle rustling is bad. Under the present law, a small cattle thief is hanged, while the big one becomes a respectable member of the Cattlemen's Association.
I agree with you. Your remarks will be put into the official record. Court's adjourned.
Here. If you're quitting, at least I want Roscoe to have a decent bridle. I think he's a friend of mine.
You ain't got a lick of sense making friends with that lawman. Lucky for you, they ain't got a prison for mules. That there feller, he'd arrest you for kicking at a far barrel. Hold on there, Sonny. Be sure you check that gun pronto.
Up the country, the old Wild West country, he made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
The West was a gathering ground for men of every type, for derelicts as well as heroes. One of the strangest, perhaps, was the man they call a remittance man, a man who was paid to stay away from home.
John, you're here early. Something wrong?
Not a thing. It's a lovely morning.
Can I get you some breakfast?
To spoil this?
It was nice last night, Johnny, down by the river. The moonlight on the water. I guess I never knew it could be so pretty and peaceful in Dodge. Thanks for asking me.
You're welcome, miss.
Miss? You called me Doris last night.
Did I? Sorry. Sometimes forget myself.
Yes, I understand.
Rate he's going this morning. This month's check from England ain't going to last till the end of the month. What's got into him?
I don't know.
Anything happen last night?
Nothing.
I warned you, he's not for you. Even if he is the black sheep, them English aristocrats stick together.
Nothing happened. We only went for a walk.
What's he got to do with George Cantel?
The gambler? Why, nothing. Johnny doesn't even know him.
Well, then why did they have their heads together back there a while ago? It's since then he's been drinking like that and looking like thunder. Uh-oh, here he comes.
Mr. Dodd? You have a gun under the bar, haven't you?
Sure, for emergencies.
May I borrow it, please?
You never even had a gun in your hand.
It has nothing to do with it.
I don't lend it.
Mr. Dodd, I have some credit left, haven't I?
About $40.
That should be enough to buy the gun, if you please. Not enough?
Plenty. But a gun is used to shoot people. And if it's Cantel you were thinking about, you better think again. He's a gambler. He's good with a gun. You ain't.
May I have it, please?
You'd be committing suicide.
Well, then, give me what I have left, and I'll go and buy it someplace else.
Johnny, please, you mustn't.
If you'll excuse me.
What could I do?
You'll be killed.
Run and get Marshal Earp.
Cantle?
You want in the game?
I want to talk to you.
Not here. Gentlemen?
I brought you something.
I said not here.
It's not what you think. This.
Now, don't be a fool, Milton. You're no gunfighter.
I know. But I'm going to kill you just the same.
But you've got your gun in your hand. You call that a fair draw? Now, look. You give me a fair chance, I'll be glad to draw with you. Well, you can even kill me if you're able.
I don't want the gun. I'll kill you with my bare hands.
Hold it.
Stay out of this, Wyatt.
Give me that gun, Johnny.
No, I'm going to kill...
Oh.
What business was this of yours, Earp?
It's my job to take care of the peace. You remember that, Mr. Cantel.
He threatened my life. If you don't think I'm going to defend myself,
why'd he threaten to kill you?
Well, I don't know. He's crazy drunk, I guess.
He knew what he was doing.
All right. He owes me money. I asked for it. Now, you'd better keep him out of my way.
Mr. Cantel, you come gunning for him, and you're going to find me.
You didn't have to hit him.
A bullet would have hurt a lot worse. He'll be all right. Come on, give me a hand, Hood.
Johnny.
Is this yours?
Yes, it is.
How does he owe Cantel money? Johnny doesn't gamble.
Well, not that I ever heard of. He never had any money except that monthly check from England.
He always turned that over to you.
For this room and eats. And liquor as long as the credit lasted. Lately, it's been given out quick.
Yeah, I know. What'd he do then? Borrow it from Cantel?
No, I've been putting it on the cuff. And Doris, she's been paying for it.
Does he know that?
She won't let me tell him.
I need a drink.
Oh, now, Johnny.
Oh, don't treat me like a child. Let me have a drink. You here? Why'd you interfere?
Why'd you do it? Cantel says you owe him money.
Let's leave it at that.
All right. I can't make you talk. But if you do need money, you don't have to use a gun. You got friends here in Dodge. Dart, Doris, I'd like to be a friend.
You a $500 friend, Marshal?
Is that how much you owe him?
I said leave it.
All right. But trying to kill him isn't going to solve anything. 10 chances to 1, it wouldn't be Cantel who'd wind up dead anyway.
Those odds don't frighten me.
No, I guess not. Not to a man who's trying to kill himself with a bottle.
I don't need your advice.
Well, you need somebody's. You're going to wind up dead. I don't know why your folks in England send you money to stay here, but I do know it isn't doing you any good.
Leave him alone, Mr. Erb.
I'll tell you something else, Johnny. You could be a good man if you tried. Send those checks back, get a job, stand on your own 2 feet.
You know, you missed your calling, Marshal. You sound just like a preacher.
Do I? Well, you stay away from Cantel or I'm going to toss you in jail. Now, a preacher wouldn't do that.
No, Johnny.
You won't be needing this. Johnny, you ought to listen to Wyatt.
Oh, please, Mr. Dart, just go away and let me take care of him.
Doris, child.
Mr. Dart, I'm over 21. No, Johnny.
Wyatt, there's trouble with the Alhambra.
Jonathan Milton?
I don't know.
Johnny?
No.
It's this woman, Marshal, this dirty little...
No need for names, mister. Mr.
Nathaniel Cooker of Hutchinson.
All right, what happened, Mr. Cooker?
Robbed me. Took my pig money.
Pig money?
Money I got for the pigs I brought into town today. Most of it, anyways.
Most of it? How much of it?
500.
Even?
500 even and $20 gold pieces. Left me maybe $30, $40.
How do you know she stole it?
She heard me talking about it at dinner.
Bragging about it.
She got real friendly. I got a little drunk. You know, kind of moony. I woke up down by the river. She didn't think I'd remember her.
This true, Miss Doris?
Yes, I guess it is.
I'd have swore she wasn't this kind. You know I don't run this kind of business, Wyatt.
I know that, Henry. Miss Doris, you'll have to give him back the money. It'll go easy on you.
I can't. I haven't got it.
Haven't got it? How could she spend it so quick?
You're out of luck, Mr. Cooker.
I gotta have that money. I can't go home without it. How'd I explain things to my wife?
Now, look, I'll do whatever I can. I'll take her into custody. You come on down to my office tomorrow morning and swear out a complaint.
I certainly will. The dirty little crook.
I said no names. Come on, Miss Doris.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dart.
So am I. I'll tell Johnny.
Oh, no, please don't. He's in his room asleep. Marshal, he had nothing to do with this. He didn't even know about it.
We have no accommodations for you at the jail. I'll get your room at the Dodge House.
Next time, mister, don't brag.
Here's your key. Either my deputy or I'll be outside.
Don't worry, Marshal. I won't try to run away.
You know, it's quite a coincidence. You steal $500, and Cantel wants $500 from Johnny, even. You've never done anything before like this, have you, Miss Doris? Do you think this would stop a man like Cantel from killing Johnny?
Oh, Marshal.
Look, why didn't you come to me for help before you ruined your life like this, huh?
I didn't know what to do. And Johnny was so strange. Nothing seemed to mean anything to him before this, but he really wanted to kill Cantel.
But why?
I don't know. He wouldn't tell me anything. But it wasn't the gambling. I know that.
Well, there's only one other thing it could be. Blackmail. Maybe Cantel threatened to tell Johnny's family in England some dirt.
Johnny didn't care what his family thought about him, and they couldn't cut off the money because it was some kind of inheritance.
Yeah? Then it had to be you.
Me?
Did Cantel ever, did he ever know you from someplace before?
I wouldn't have been allowed to know that kind of a man. But he did recognize me. I knew that the first time he saw me on the street.
He recognized you?
He's from St. Louis. I come from a good family there. I'd run away to get married, I thought, but... Well, anyway, I was so ashamed I couldn't go back. They don't know where I am or what I'm doing.
Well, that's it.
Marshal, I've never done anything I've been ashamed of before this.
I believe you, Miss Doris. But maybe Cantel threatened to tell your family some lie about you and Johnny, and, well, that's what upset Johnny.
But there's never been anything between us. Johnny's been a perfect gentleman, and well...
That wouldn't make much difference to a man like Cantel. Well, that's probably it. Doesn't do us any good to know it now. You gave Cantel $500 in untraceable gold. There's not much I can do about it.
Yes, I understand.
Well, you try and get some sleep.
Marshal? Good night, Marshal.
Good night.
You can't arrest her, Marshal. You've got to let her go.
I can't do that, Johnny.
Well, then I'll take her.
You know how much money she took?
She didn't take it. She couldn't do such a
She
thing.
took $500, Johnny. $500 even.
Well, she did it for me.
Maybe you'll tell me why she did it. All right, I'll tell you why. Blackmail. Cantel threatened to tell her family in St. Louis some lie about her. Now, why didn't you come to me? We could have trapped him. I've had complaints before about his crooked behavior, and now we have no proof.
You're right about me, Marshal. I'm not much of a man. I've tried to find a solution to my problems in a bottle. May I see her for a moment? Please.
Who is it?
Marshal Earp, Miss Dawes.
Johnny, no, go away. You mustn't get mixed up in this.
Doris, there's no way to thank you. But I'll do anything. I'll do anything to help. And I'll wait for you.
Oh, Johnny, you mustn't feel like that. You don't owe me anything.
But I do. Doris, last night was the first time in years that I've felt alive.
Oh, Johnny.
If she goes to jail, I'll kill Campbell with my bare hands.
That isn't going to help.
Well, what will?
Well, there's just one chance. If we can persuade Cooker not to sign a complaint, there won't be any charge against him.
Well, let's talk to him right now.
I said if. He may not listen to us.
He'll listen.
Wait a minute. The money's going to have to be paid back.
It will be. It may take a while, but I'll do it.
Let's go find him.
So I went into the dining room with my pig money, and this gal heard me talking about it. You know, the gals will always take a little shine to me. I guess she had you all fooled, huh? Thought she was just a waitress. But I spotted her.
Shut up! Have it, Johnny. Oh, you can't talk that way about her. I'll kill him. You're not.
Now, you go on back to the Alhambra and wait for me. Go on.
All right. All right. All right, break it up. Mr. Cooker? I said break it up.
Well, let's have our drink before we get out of here. I was just talking.
You do a lot of talking. Now, sit down.
What do you want with me, Marshal?
I have a little proposition for you, Mr. Cooker. That girl, she's not bad. She's never been in trouble before.
You expect me to believe that?
It's true. If she goes to jail now, it'll ruin her life.
She should have thought of that before.
The point is, Mr. Cooker, she deserves a second chance.
You're mighty big-hearted, ain't you, on my money?
You'll get your money back. If you agree not to sign the complaint. Now, that's my proposition.
She gonna pay me? Then who is? You?
Mr. Jonathan Milton, the gentleman who was just here.
He's some sort of a limey lord, ain't he? Only he's almost a tramp now. How's he gonna pay it back?
It'll take a while. He'll pay a little each month.
Oh, no. He don't get no credit from me. I want my money. I told you I can't go home without it. What did I tell my wife?
What are you going to tell her anyway when your charges appear in the newspaper? The truth? And are you so sure the girl's the only one to blame? Wouldn't you still have that money of yours safe if you hadn't had a few ideas of your own?
Well, you know how it is, Marshal. We all make mistakes.
This girl never did. Now, you're going to be the one that's going to ruin her life?
Well, I don't hold her no malice, but I gotta have my money back.
I said you'd get it.
Well, you give me my money right here in my hand, and I won't sign the complaint. Maybe you'll lend it to him. Or maybe you could find it where she put it.
That's a good idea, Mr. Cooker. Let's go.
Where are we going?
To do a little gambling.
do you have to sneak up on a man, Marshal?
Sometimes. You want to deal me a hand?
Sure. Why not?
With that deck.
Yes, of course. Place your bets, gentlemen. Marshal?
I bet $500. Well, don't worry. If I lose, I'm good for it. And I'm sure you have $500, Mr. Cantel.
It's all right.
You know, if there's one thing in this town we don't like, it's a crooked gambler.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, there's been a lot of conversation, probably just from poor losers. Say you use marked cards. I'll play these. Actually, I don't pay too much attention to poor losers. Anyway, I know quite a bit about marked cards. Take that next card, for instance.
Well, what about it?
Well, you have 16 showing. If that next card should just happen to be a 5, you'd have 21, you'd win all the bets. But I'd have to take you to jail. Because I read that card as a 5.
Why, you're crazy.
Am I? You sure you want to turn over that card?
I'll pay 17.
Pay 19. That satisfy you, Mr. Cooker?
Fine, thanks.
Now, you go on back to Hutchinson. Next time you come to Dodge City, you bring your wife. She'd enjoy the trip. You get out of town, too, Cantel.
Why? I haven't done anything.
The crime's a lot worse than marked cars, but that'll do for an excuse. Now, you get out before breakfast.
Stay where you are. You too, Cantel.
I've got a score to settle with you. What about me, Johnny?
You too, Wyatt, if you don't stand in my way.
Then it'll have to be me. Now, nobody touch a gun. Put it down.
I'm warning you, Wyatt. Stay back! Oh, Wyatt. What's going to happen to her now?
Nothing's going to happen to either one of you. Give me a hand.
There. Doctor says you'll be back to normal in a couple of days.
No, I'm afraid it's more serious than that. It killed a man. Jonathan Milton, Esquire. From now on, it's just plain Johnny Milton. And Wyatt, I'm going to send back those checks. If Mr. Dart has a job for me at the Alhambra.
Sure, Johnny.
And maybe, soon, when I get a few dollars together.
Well, that shouldn't take too long with both of you working. You know, in this case, I don't really mind killing a man.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame,
friends who invariably got Wyatt Earp into trouble was Ned Buntline, popular author of dime novels about the western frontier. Mr. Buntline admired Wyatt to the point of idolatry. This was a pleasant, if embarrassing, attitude, and Wyatt's sense of humor enabled him to forgive mild bragging by the writer. But when Buntline made Wyatt the hero of a new yarn entitled King of the Frontier...
Morning, Mayor Kelly. Wyatt, have you seen this? Have you seen this now?
Let's see. King of the Frontier by Ned Buntline. Buntline sure turns him out, doesn't he?
Yeah, but that's your picture. He's made you the hero. You're King of the Frontier.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's got you bulldogging steers. He's got you riding a loco bronc, winning a horse race, and a chuck wagon race, and that ain't all.
Oh, what else do I do?
You shoot it out with a man at 100 yards. He uses a rifle, and you use your buntline.
Who gets killed?
The man with the Winchester. You should sue him. He's made a plumb fool out of you. And worse than that, you deliberately kill a man.
Just keep your shirt on, Mayor Kelly. Buntline's readers know him by now, and if any of them ask me about it, I'll swear I didn't do it.
What?
Cross my heart.
And little did Tex, the killer, realize what he must face. But he had never seen the awesome Buntline special.
All right.
This weapon was more than a match for Tex's Winchester at any range up to 500 yards.
Mr. Gibbs.
500 yards?
Look, at first I thought it was funny. Now I'm getting a mite riled.
I don't blame you. Why don't you see the feller that wrote it?
Because it's not worth the trip east.
Won't have to go east. Buntline's over at the Dodge House. Just rode into town with a lazy Q.
Speaking of the devil.
And a little bit of breakfast, too.
Right, boss, right.
There you are, Miles.
You're good company, Ned. And you sure put Wyatt Earp on the spot.
Wyatt? Why, he's a very dear friend of mine. As a matter of fact, as soon as we have a little spot of breakfast, I shall go over and pay him a visit.
Now, he ain't as good as you say he is.
Now, Miles, you're my host. I came out here to see a cattle drive firsthand, but I won't hear a word against Wyatt. Everything I wrote about him is gospel truth.
Ah, you can't do half the things you got him doing in that book.
You want to bet?
Sure.
$5,000.
Piker?
All right, $10,000.
What if Earp backs down?
Wyatt is not a man to evade a challenge. If he backs down, I pay you the $10,000 anyway.
You got a bet.
Well, Wyatt, my friend. Well, you were a sight for sore eyes.
Howdy, Mr. Buntline. Good to see you.
Well, you still carrying the Buntline special?
You know it, best gun in the West.
Oh, say, I'm out here visiting Miles Breck of the Lazy Q. You know him, don't you?
Sure.
Well, come on over and sit a while with us. You had breakfast?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, here, Miles, here's the king himself.
King, sit down and rest yourself.
Well, thank you, Mr. Breck, but I haven't got time. I see, Mr. Buntline, that everybody's read your new book.
We just made a little bet on you, Marshal.
Bet? Well, I hope you didn't take any.
Take any? I took all of it, $10,000.
You can have the same, Earp.
Mr. Buntline, I'd like to speak to you for a few minutes when you get finished, in my office.
Sure, Wyatt. Oh, have you made a bad bet?
And you let Breck one-swallow you into a sucker bet, huh?
But why? You can do all the things I wrote about in the book.
Mr. Buntline, I have enough trouble with this job. Now, you expect me to risk my neck trying to live up to what you write in the book?
You're right. You're absolutely right. I'll pay off.
What do you mean, pay off?
Well, I should have consulted with you. I agreed with him that if you backed out, I'd pay him the $10,000 anyway.
Oh, no. Have you got it?
My dear sir, are you implying that for one moment I would... Well, I haven't got all of it, but I think I can get an advance from my publisher.
Wait a minute. You say all I have to do is beat the Lazy Q outfit in these cowhand stunts, huh?
Yeah, just what I wrote in the book.
All right, I'll try it. I don't want Miles Breck getting away with something like this.
No, now forget it. I was wrong, and I'm going to pay off.
You pay off nothing. You tell Breck I'll tackle his best man on each stunt.
Oh, that's spoken like the real Wyatt Earp, the king of the frontier. Ha ha!
The lazy Q's are a bragging there's been 10,000 bet on you. Everything that idiot wrote in that book you got to make good?
Just the cow-hand stunts.
Can you rope and tie a calf or bulldog a steer?
Well, my brothers and I played around with them back in Illinois.
How about riding a loco bronc?
Well, I could get my neck busted. Look, Mr. Buntline cornered me. Now, if I back out of this childish nonsense, all the cowhands will start taking pot shots at me. Won't the men of this country ever grow up?
Most of them, in time. But there's one thing that's already growed up in them.
Yeah?
Courage, Wyatt. A man can be backwards and stupid out here, but he's got to be brave.
Firmly. Earp's gonna shoot against a Winchester at 100 yards?
That's something Ned forgot. Sort of a surprise for the finish.
Earp would be a fool to do it, boss. And Earp sure ain't no fool.
Man does many foolish things when he's cornered. All right, let's get that herd started for Dodge.
Just made some fresh coffee. Want some?
Right.
Up there's a tame calf they want you to rope. Call a foul and make 'em get a wild one.
No.
You loading the dice, Miles?
He sure is. A tame calf can dodge a rope all day long.
If I can't think faster than a calf, I better quit right now.
Seconds. Good boy, Wyatt. Come on, your turn, Miles.
We concede on the calf. Hey, Ricky, get set for the bulldogging.
Wonderful, Wyatt. Did you hear me? 16 seconds?
I heard you.
Would you like to pay off now?
Mexico! Get aboard that cayuse!
Stay off him, you're still ahead.
Well, I never knew such ferocious horses existed.
All right, we'll call it a tie.
No.
Take the twitch off him.
He's gonna pull and stomp you.
Take that bridle off him.
You've got to put him in the chute first. And what's wrong with that bridle?
Horses don't like spade bits. I'll do it myself. Here. Split a horse's tongue with that. Mr. Gibbs, get that bucket of water over there, will you?
Right.
But Wyatt, you don't really mean to ride that horse, do you?
I've called it a tie.
All right, let him down.
Let him down. Come in and grab this here. All right. Butt him. That's enough. All right, hold him. Hold him.
Did you give that bucking horse opium?
No, sir.
Well, then, how did you tame him?
Well, sir, actually, a horse is not too difficult to tame. Just about do anything you ask him to if you're patient with him. I took the bridle off that bronc, gave him his head, and well, it confused him, so he just decided to do nothing.
Well, then you did tame him.
No, sir. See, a horse pulls a buggy or lets you ride him because that's what he's trained to do. He doesn't know his own strength. Now, you take that mule over there.
You mean Mr. Gibbs' animal, the one he calls Roscoe?
Mm-hmm. Now, a mule is certainly just as intelligent as a horse.
Yeah, well, now, Roscoe's tame, and he's obedient, and he works cheerfully. I'll bet you he does.
Well, let's ask Mr. Gibbs. Mr. Gibbs?
Huh? Oh, ready in a minute. Why?
Now, I want you to explain to Mr. Buntline here why Roscoe there works for you.
Now, he is tame and loyal, isn't he?
This mule? He knows if he don't work, he don't eat. He ain't got much use for me, but he knows the next boss might be meaner. Now, Wyatt's horse, he don't even know that much. I've seen him shy at a piece of paper and try to run smack into a barbed wire fence.
Well, if I told my readers that.
Time for the race. I don't think you've ever driven a chuck wagon, and I aim to prove it for $10,000.
Oh, now, why don't you give up, huh?
Get it on the line, Earp.
Well, at least this is the last of it. Now, no more bets, Mr. Buntline.
Oh, never again, Wyatt, I swear. Well, I'm going down to the finish line, and good luck. Good luck to you.
Hey, what's so difficult about racing chuck wagons?
Well, they ain't balanced. Turn over mighty easy.
Anything else?
Yeah. You can't call no fouls.
You mean Breck's driver can sideswipe me?
Well, that's why I put Roscoe on the near side. Because he can bump and he can bite.
Yeah. Now, you watch your temper.
And you let Roscoe do the thinking. He ain't been putting no books, but he's drug chuck wagons through lots of races.
All right, get on your marks.
Wait a minute. Don't...
Get set.
Ready?
I've done that on purpose. It's that mule.
Your driver tried to break Roscoe's leg.
Now listen, this is a race, not a fight. Now shut up and race. Come on, boys, pull that wheel over here.
Why don't you watch that old mule? I don't know whether it's him or you.
You hear that, Roscoe? He's kind of an ornery fella, ain't he, huh?
Come on, get him. All right, are you all free?
Pull the back end out a little more.
Come on, boys. Are you free?
Yeah.
All right, now!
I've had enough. I quit. Give me a gun. I'll fix that mule.
You ain't gonna fix nothing. You just sit there and hush up.
Mr. Gibbs?
Yes, sir.
Take Roscoe and my horse over the stable.
Scared?
Your man quit and he showed good sense.
Well, Wyatt, technically we could say that we won this event. I mean, at least we didn't lose it. Well, you quit first, you know. Wyatt, they quit first.
Earp's ahead so far, but he ain't won the shootout.
The shootout?
Yeah, don't you remember your own book? Here. It says right here, Earp shoots it out with his buntline special against a man with a Winchester at 100 yards.
Oh, now, we didn't include that. That was only...
Everything you've got Earp doing in this book's included, or you pay me an extra $5,000.
Now, Wyatt has already risked his life to save me money. Now, I won't ask him to fight a duel.
If you feel that way, $15,000.
All right. I can only raise 10 now.
I'll take your IOU.
Don't pay him, Mr. Buntline.
He expects Wyatt to fight a duel against a man with a Winchester. Now, there are limits, you know.
Don't pay him. Not until I talk to Wyatt first.
No. Now, here's $8,600. I'll give you my note for the rest.
I'm holding the stakes until I talk to Wyatt. You got any objection?
No. All I want Wyatt Earp to do is to come to taw with that buntline special.
And I can hand load some cartridges with more powder and a heavier bullet. I'd bet on you myself.
Well, I don't understand, Mr. Gibbs. You said it was nonsense at the start.
Well, I kind of underestimated your might on them cowhand stunts.
Well, shooting at a man is a lot different than bulldogging a steer.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You're going to have to do it or kill several men to save your reputation. Take that buntline special. You ever think about how many men are scared of it? It's like my shotgun over there. I'm supposed to be able to hit a man at 500 yards. And they know my 10-gauge slug puts such a big hole in a man that there ain't no doctor can save him. Consequently, I ain't had to shoot very often.
Well, it's the betting angle, Mr. Gibbs.
Well, you don't have to kill the feller. Ain't but one main fault you got. There just ain't enough Roscoe in you. I'll pay Brecky's money.
No, you're right.
I am? Just this once?
It's childish, this shootout business. It's just the trouble. Most hoodlums are childish. If I back down from that lazy Q outfit, it'd be just like you say. I have to shoot a lot of grown-up brats. I quit my job. You insist on one thing with Mr. Breck. You tell him I want to shoot lying on my belly. His man can do the same.
How come?
Because I'm not Mr. Buntline's king of the frontier. If I'm going to shoot at 100 yards, I want to use my two hands to steady the gun. And also be a smaller target for the rifle.
Well, I don't know about that now. In the book here, it says that you stood against the skyline and shot it out.
Stupid, silly book. Now, Breck's man and I aren't going to be shooting blank cartridges. You going to make the deal or not?
You say, boss. You could do it like the book says, though.
Let him have it his way, boss. Laying down on my stomach is better for me.
I know, but the book says...
All right, you shoot the Winchester.
Relax. Tell Earp we agree.
right, Mr. Gibbs. 100 yards. Start pacing it off.
Right.
Take your time and make that first shot count.
Don't worry, boss. I'll get him.
Wyatt, there's a law against dueling in Kansas.
Mr. Gormley threatened to kill me on sight. Wrote me a little note. Take a look yonder. I'm in sight.
Now, Wyatt, please, don't do it. I can pay Breck off.
I'm not doing it to save you a bet, Mr. Buntline.
Then why?
Well, you should know that, Mr. Mayor. Any Johnny Law that backs down on a threat has to give up his star. Now, you gentlemen are in the line of fire. Move on.
I'll fire one shot. Navy commands.
I'm set.
Can you make it out of here?
Yeah.
Cut him down, Wyatt!
Here you are, Mr. Buntline. 2 cartridges left. Want to try your hand?
Oh, Wyatt, I...
I'm sorry, Mr. Buntline. I shouldn't have said that to a friend.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Are you going to have to drop Lanigan? Or be fighting every one of his cowhands?
That's ridiculous.
No, Janie, that's exactly what I told you and your dad.
You don't understand gunfighting, Miss Jenny. Now, I could disarm that fella, but he'd still be after Mitch. Now, you walk right out there and draw. I bragged to him about your speed, so he'd be uncertain. You draw as fast as you can, but take that split second to aim.
Right.
Mitch!
Miss Janey, that's the way it has to be.
It doesn't. We'll sell the ranch. We'll move back east.
No. Running out of Dodge would haunt him the rest of his life. He won't go and he can't go.
Stupid talk. You protect Mitch. You're hired to take care...
long may his story be told.
There has been much nonsense written about gunfighting on the frontier. Marshal Earp recognized only a few legitimate gunfighters. The rest, he commented, got their fame by shooting drunks or slowpoke amateurs. As the case of young Mitch Hallam proved, once a man reached the small company of top guns, other experts rarely challenged him. There was no percentage in a shootout where men of equal speed would probably kill each other.
Mitch, Janie and I wish you'd change your mind.
It's too late now, Mr. Travis.
You've got into a few gunfights. You've been exonerated each time. I've offered to promote you to foreman here. What's gone wrong?
Well, a man has his pride. He doesn't relish the cowhands saying he got promoted to foreman because of the boss's daughter.
Janie had nothing to do with it.
Well, I know Janie, Mr. Travis. She wants me to settle down and wait for you to make me a partner. No hard feelings. I just want to make it on my own.
No hard feelings, Mitch. Good luck. I did my best, hon.
Where's he going?
Dodge City, I reckon.
Mitch thinks he can be a big man with a gun.
Forget him, Janie. He'd only break your heart.
Whiskey, double.
Yes, sir. But you better check that gun.
You a bartender or Earp's deputy? Hold it. I want a fresh pack. Hey, barkeep, new pack of cards.
Never mind, we'll play with this one.
I said we wouldn't.
Any more last words?
There's Derringer. Somebody put it in his hand?
No, he drew it, Mr. Earp.
He was slow.
Well, I'm not that slow. Give me your gun.
I wouldn't try to draw on you, Marshal. But, isn't there a law of self-defense?
There's an ordinance against packing a gun. $50 fine or 10 days in jail. You got $50?
No, sir.
That's too bad. Mr. Morgan, get some men. Help you take them over to Doc. Let's go.
Marshal Earp,
Yes, sir?
I'm Jane Travis. My father owns the Bar J. They say you put Mitch Hallam in jail.
That's right, I did.
Self-defense, wasn't it? And what's killing a man to you?
Well, ma'am, I try to avoid it whenever I can.
Oh, nonsense. You're a professional gunfighter, Mitch's biggest hero.
I think we better go inside.
You know, most of this is your fault. The notorious Mr. Earp, fastest gun in the West.
Now, look, did you come here to lecture me or to pay Mr. Hallam's fine?
I came to pay his fine, but I also wanted to meet a gunfighter.
Well, I'm not a gunfighter, Miss Travis. I'm the marshal of Dodge City, and if I do use a gun, it's to support the law we're trying to evolve here on the frontier. Now, here's a report on Mr. Hallam's arrest, a $50 fine.
Bat Masterson and Ben Thompson are gunfighters.
Well, I wouldn't call Mr. Masterson that. Mr. Thompson is another friend of mine, so I guess I'm a little bit prejudiced.
Then who are the men Mitch wants to be like? I'm sorry for losing my temper, Mr. Earp, and saying those things.
Are you in love with Mr. Hallam? And you want him to quit trying to get the reputation of a gunfighter, isn't it?
Yes. Papa and I have gotten Mitch out of several scrapes. Papa wants him to be foreman of the Bar J, and I said we could be married any time he'd promised to quit wearing a gun. Mr. Earp, why does he do it? Why?
Well, maybe he likes killing like Wes Hardin or Clay Allison. Or maybe he's a born criminal like Jesse James. Or maybe he just has a grudge against the world like Billy the Kid.
No. Mitch wants to be somebody. He's an orphan, a nobody in his own estimation.
Well, what do you think?
Mitch loves me. But he also wants to be somebody on his own.
And he thinks that being a gunfighter is somebody, huh?
Yes.
Mr. Gibbs, bring Mr. Hallam in here, will you?
Mr. Earp, isn't there anything I can do?
That kind of depends on Mr. Hallam.
It was him or me, Janie.
$50.
Oh, no. I'll stay in jail.
Big-headed pride, huh? Here, put this on.
What's the idea?
Well, Mr. Gibbs and I just want to see how fast you are.
Well, I'm not in your class, but I'll get better.
Well, we'll see about that. Mr. Gibbs, you holler go, huh?
All set?
Yep.
Draw.
You are fast.
Well, Mr. Gibbs, what do you think?
Well, he's fair to middling, I guess.
But he'll never make a great gun? You see, Miss Janey, only the top guns stay alive. That's because they never draw against each other. They know they'll both be hit. Now, you can go on killing drunks and slowpokes, but I'll tell you, my friend, one of these days you're going to come up against a top gun. That's going to be it.
Listen to him, Mitch.
He's just trying to scare me.
He's not. He's telling you the truth.
Well, I'll wait, Janie. Now, let me explain to you.
Mr. Gibbs, excuse us for a minute, will you? Sit down, Mr. Hallam. Now, suppose you tell me the truth, huh?
Well, the Bar J is a tough outfit. Janie and Mr. Travis don't know how tough.
And they don't want you as foreman,
Most of them like me. But Jim Lanigan, they call him Cactus. He thinks he should be Ramrod, not me.
He pushes you into gunfights.
Who told you? Look, I just don't want a job because I'm going to marry the boss's daughter. Someday I'll shoot it out with Lanigan.
Well, I think it's stupid shooting your way into a job.
Well, I didn't choose it, Mr. Earp. I just happened to fall in love with Janie. Oh, thanks for listening.
Look, you sign on as a deputy. I'm going to go have a talk with Mr. Travis.
It won't work.
Whether it does or not, you'll have the legal right to be wearing a gun. Now, you either pin this on or you go back to jail.
I see now why you're good at your job. You're tougher than the others. And smarter.
Well, let's just say I'm a high school boy dealing with second graders. Well, I have to deal with ordinary cowhands. I'll go have a little talk with Mr. Travis. Shotgun, you got a new assistant. Mr. Travis, you know as well as I do that, well, running a cattle spread isn't just a knack you pick up in a couple of years. You got to know cowhands.
True, Mr. Earp, but I can't believe Jim Lanigan would do a thing like this.
Well, I can. He thinks he should be promoted foreman, not Mitch.
All right, that's easily settled.
You mean by firing Lanigan?
Well, of course.
So that'd be the worst thing you could do.
What would you suggest, Mr. Earp?
Well, why don't you make him your representative to the Cattlemen's Association? The rep thinks he has an important job, and technically he outranks foreman.
Of course, Papa, that's it.
You see, in business or politics, it's called kicking a man upstairs.
I just hate to reward a man for doing what he's done to Mitch.
Papa, I'm in love with Mitch.
I know. I know, honey. They told me when I bought the ranch, the old days were gone forever.
Not yet, Mr. Travis. Changing a cowhand is kind of like, well, trying to get rid of longhorn steers.
Cowhands, pushing a decent boy into gunfights. I ought to fire the whole caboodle.
No, sir. Mr. Hallam can't fight his way through Lanigan and his pals.
The marshal's right, Papa. Please, promote that man to represent you at the meetings. Don't say anything about Mitch. As far as you're concerned, he quit. Please.
All right, honey. I'll go back to the ranch and get this settled.
I'm very ashamed of all the nasty things I said to you.
It's all right, Miss Jenny.
And you'll stick by Mitch until this is over?
I'll keep him on patrol with me all the time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where's Mr. Lanigan?
At the South Corral, with Brandon calves.
Ask him to see me here right away.
All right.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, Lanigan. Sit down for a moment. Got some news.
Taking Hallam back?
Hallam? No, he's hired as a deputy with Earp in Dodge. The news is I've joined the Cattlemen's Association.
Oh?
With the new herd, we qualify. The association wants to organize the spring drive and bring us all into agreement with the big Texas outfits.
Yes, sir.
The point is, I've named you as my representative.
Yes, sir.
Aren't you pleased? The job pays much more, and there'll be travel expenses.
You're the boss, but I'd rather be foreman than the job you just talked about.
The rep job pays better. Why would you prefer to be foreman?
I know these big Texas outfits, Mr. Travis. Small spread like Bar J carries no weight at all with them. Besides, I've been your acting foreman almost a year now. I don't want to sound big-headed, but you need me.
I need a representative, too.
Any one of the boys could do that. No, sir, not me. Thanks just the same.
Lanigan. One moment, if you please.
Yes, sir.
I may be a greener at the cattle business, but I'm trying to learn. Just why have you set your heart on being foreman?
I know the hands, and they know me. Like you say, boss, you're new to ranching. Cowhands take a heap of discipline.
Of course. I appreciate all you've done.
Then you ought to name me foreman, official. But you're the boss.
What's the word, Jim?
He wants me to rep for the Bar J, not to be foreman.
Uh-oh.
It's just a dodge to get me out of the way, put Janie's boyfriend in as ramrod. Maybe you can guess what that's going to do to our business.
Do you reckon Mitch squealed?
No, he's not onto us yet. Of all the dirty breaks. I had him all set up. We pushed him one gunfight to another.
Why not keep pushing him?
I can take him.
Not as long as he walks around to the Star. Say, I was a boob. I've got to take that rep job. Yeah, I'll tell Travis I changed my mind.
You gonna leave us with that herd we stole from Travis?
Just long enough for all of us to ride into Dodge. Mitch'll quit Earp as soon as Travis makes him foreman. But he can't leave Dodge with us in the way. You better get away from the house.
So you ever been drunk?
No, sir.
Well, the good thing to remember is that, well, liquor makes the cowhand ornery. Now, the kindest thing you can do is to hustle a drunk off to jail. I've even had a few of them thank me for it.
Mitch! Mitch, it worked.
What?
Tell him, Papa.
You're the new foreman. I hope you'll allow Deputy Hallam to resign real quick. Your idea, Marshal. Lanigan accepted the representative job.
No hard feelings?
Not after he thought it over. He left for the cattlemen's powwow last night.
Whoa, now, hold on. Just what was this deal?
Well, I suggested to Mr. Travis that he promote Mr. Lanigan to rep, clearing the way for you.
Lanigan doing business for the Bar J? I'm sorry.
What's wrong, Mitch?
I think Lanigan's been stealing from your dad for months.
Stealing? Oh, no.
I can't prove it, sir. That's why I never said anything. Good try, Mr. Earp. Thanks.
Now, Mitch, you wait.
No time, Janie. I got a job to do. I'll catch Lanigan red-handed someday soon. Real soon.
I'll see to it that Mitch gets out of town safe.
But, Marshal, if Lanigan's been stealing...
Look, he knows Mitch is in town. Now, you two go on back to the hotel. Maybe you should have been honest with Mr. Travis, Miss Janie, right from the start.
I couldn't prove anything.
Lanigan's pushed you into gunfights, hasn't he?
I can't prove that.
Lanigan got any particular pals?
Conroy, Markham, Hollister, maybe a few more.
Yeah. Those three, how fast are they?
Quit nursing me. Just, well, explain it to Janie. Sometimes a man turns gunfighter in spite of himself and his friends.
Hey, Mitch. You gonna marry Earp? Where's your star?
I turned it in.
Mr. Earp, if you just stand aside, Mitch and I are gonna have a friendly talk.
Let me handle it. What do you want to talk about, Conroy?
You've been threatening to gun me.
That's a lie.
I got witnesses. Now you just lift your hands, or use them.
He's pretty fast.
I could have got him.
Step aside.
You give me that gun.
Give me that. Mr. Travis, you try and talk him into leaving town. Mr. Conroy here needs a doctor. Did he come into town alone?
No, came in with a couple of other cowhands. They're with the Long Branch Saloon.
If he doesn't leave town, put him in jail. I'm going over to Long Branch, here.
You, go get the doc and bring him down here.
Conroy made a mess of it, so now it's your turn. I'm going through the alley and over to the hotel just in case he starts to run.
This number, you're coming out on the level. There's a marshal. What are you doing? All right, my shot.
I'm looking for a couple of cowhands, Bar J outfit, Hollister and Markham.
That might be them, Marshal.
Hold it.
What have we done, Earp?
We're just leaving town.
Your name's Hollister and Markham?
That's none of your business.
Now, where's Mr. Lanigan?
Cactus Lanigan? Oh, he went to Mobeetie last night. He's the new rep for Mr. Travis.
Well, we'll see about Mr. Lanigan. Pick up his hat. Now, we'll go over to my office. Join Mr. Conroy. Let's go.
It'll take me 2 minutes to pack.
Rest yourself, Mitch.
So I can run faster?
Well, that's childish.
You don't understand any of this, do you, sir?
I think I do. It's your suspicion that Lanigan's been stealing my cattle, right? The Cattlemen's Association employs detectives to deal with thieves. It's not your personal responsibility.
And Conroy wasn't? When he started a gunfight and Mr. Earp had to... Oh, everybody in Dodge must know by now what happened.
Mitch, your pride is ridiculous.
Papa isn't hiring you to be a gunfighter, Mitch. You're to be foreman.
I don't know, Janie.
I'm hungry. We'll have some lunch here and then we'll hit the trail. And Mitch, I want you to sit down and start to think like an adult.
Yes, sir. I'll try.
All right, now I want to know where Lanigan is, and I want to know right now.
Or else?
Mr. Conroy here goes to jail for attempted murder. The two of you get the limit for conspiracy.
Too soft, Wyatt. If it was me, I'd lock 'em all up in a box stall with Roscoe.
Who's Roscoe?
He's my mule, and he don't like hoodlums.
Now, Mr. Conroy, you take jail?
No.
Lanigan's holed up in a room in the Dodge Hotel. Well, we were supposed to get Mitch, but if we didn't, Lanigan would gun him down.
Go ahead, try it.
I in your class, and you know it.
But you can take Mitch Hallam, huh?
Yeah, I can.
I don't know. Mr. Hallam's pretty fast. He got Mr. Conroy before he even got a grip on his gun.
You joshing me? They told me in the saloon you got Conroy.
I didn't have to. Mr. Hallam got him.
Hallam ain't that fast. You tell him I'll be waiting for him in the street.
Where would you like to be buried, Mr. Lanigan?
You ask Hallam that.
Yeah, I will.
Who is it?
Sir, I'd like to talk to Miss Cheney and Mitch. They're planning a little surprise.
I'll wait down in the bar.
Lanigan, wearing guns. Why don't you take them away from him, Mr. Earp?
Now, you're going to have to drop Lanigan. I'll be fighting every bar J. Cowham.
That's ridiculous.
No, Janie, that's exactly what I told you and your dad.
You don't understand gunfighting, Miss Cheney. I could disarm that fella, but he'd still be after Mitch. Now, you walk right out there and draw. I bragged to him about your speed, so it'll be uncertain. You draw as fast as you can, but take that split second to aim.
Right.
Mitch, stop!
Miss Cheney, it has to be that way.
Why?
Mitch doesn't like gunfighting any more than you do. But Lanigan pushed him into a corner, and Mitch has to fight him.
He doesn't. We'll sell the ranch. We'll move back east. Mitch and I can
Look,
go...
running out of Dodge would haunt him the rest of his life. He won't go, and he can't go.
Now, you protect Mitch. That's what you're hired to do.
It's just my leg.
Hold still.
I'll kill this man. I'll kill him myself.
He's already been killed.
Lanigan was a top hand. You put your gun away now. Nobody will invite you to buckle it on.
You hear that, Janie? Oh, I hope you're right.
I've had over 100 gunfights, Mitch. Welcome to the list of top hands. No sense in crying, Miss Janie. All those stupid gunfighters will be afraid of Mitch now. You can raise cattle, kids in peace now.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Historians have written a great deal of nonsense about the woman of the western frontier in the 1870s. Except for Indian raids, they were supposedly protected by noble and chivalrous white men. Actually, the pioneer woman was in continual danger from frontier bullies and hoodlums who joined the migration toward the far west. The story of Martha Hildreth is a classic example of what it meant to be a pioneer woman.
Marshal. Mr. Earp.
Yeah, Mr. Bryce, what can I do for you?
Some renegades jumped a freight wagon outfit on the New Mexico trace. Killed a man and his wife before Jed Carney could chase them off.
Who's Carney?
He's the boss of the freighters.
Where'd it happen?
About 30 miles west, in the cave country along the Arkansas, a place called Rocky Meadow.
Well, I'll ride out there, Mr. Bryce.
Carney and his men acted kind of strange, like they didn't want to talk about it.
Thank you. I'll keep an eye open for him.
Really look around for her now. She couldn't be far. She can tell the law on us.
You ain't worried about that. All you want's that girl. Why'd you use your head for once, Carney? You shoot me, and how long will you last? I stay awake while you sleep, remember? That stagecoach driver we met today has probably blabbered his mouth to the first John Law he met.
That gal's a witness. She could get us hung, Swede.
Well, she's probably either killed herself or froze to death by now.
Yeah, maybe you're right. All right. Come on back, man. We're gonna hit the trail. That's good, men. Bring the wagon over. We'll burn it here to hide the graves.
One break we got, Jed. No brands on their horses.
All right, hustle that wagon over.
Rider coming, Jed.
And you fellas Jed Carney?
I am.
Yeah, I'm Wyatt Earp, Marshal of Dodge City. Stage driver said you, had a little trouble out here.
We didn't. A couple from Ohio by the name of Hildreth got jumped about a quarter of a mile behind my wagon train. Hoodlums murdered both of them. Some of us rode back here. Our freighter's just down around the bend.
Well, I'll have to make a report. That fire over yonder looks right comfortable.
Oh, why, sure.
My posse won't be here for about a half hour or so.
What'd you bring a posse for?
Why, Mr. Earp has to chase them murdering scum. Come on over and squat a while. We'll tell you all we know.
Thank you.
And the team was played out. Hildreth was scared there was Indians up ahead, so we let him tag us. But he couldn't keep up. And we didn't have any horses to lend him. Well, that's just about it. We gave him a decent burial. Drug their wagon over there to mark the graves.
Yeah, I see. The killer's headed south, huh?
Let's cross the river to make off. From the tracks, I'd say there were 6 or 8 of them.
We'll pick up the trail. I know you fellas want to be moving along again.
Yeah, it's almost sunup. Well, good luck, Marshal. Sure hope you catch him.
We'll catch him. We ought to take him now.
No. If he has got a posse following him, we're not strong enough to fight him. And we can't outrun him with these freight horses.
Martha.
There goes Earp trailing that girl. We should have shot him.
Yeah, you're right. Me and Earp is following that girl by himself. Now we'll double back and follow him. You drivers unhitch your lead horses and follow as soon as you can. The rest of you mount up.
Martha Hildreth?
You get away!
I'm Marshal Wyatt Earp from Dodge City. I've come to help you.
No, go away! Don't you touch me!
Now, just take it easy now. Just take it easy.
No! No!
I'm a peace officer. You see that star?
It's a trick.
Now listen, Miss Hildreth. Jed Carney and his men...
I won't say anything.
Miss Hildreth, your parents...
Hold it, sweet. Get behind the rocks. We'll smoke him out.
Carney, he's still after you. Now, it was Jed Carney and his men, wasn't it?
No!
All right. Here, take that and keep quiet. It's better than a knife to defend yourself with.
A lot of caves in there. Which one?
We'll rush them all.
Come on out, Earp! You haven't got a chance! Jan, in here! Hold it. Hold your fire. Shoot, they got Carney.
This is Carney. Did he do it? All right, I'm coming out. Carney's coming first.
Wilson! Stop shooting! Stop shooting! Hold your fire! Scatter and trail him. We can get Jed back. Go on.
All right, go pick him up. One wrong move out of you, and I'll put a deeper crease in that skull. Go on.
Throw him down there. Right there.
Now patch him up. Then bring him in. I'll wait for you inside. I don't aim to be bushwhacked. Two of Connie's men. You ever see him before?
No. No!
All right. Now, moving out of here, Mr. Carney. You're going to be first, and they're going to be right behind you.
It's a long walk to Dodge, Herb. You can't stay awake that many hours.
But maybe Miss Martha will take turns watching out for your pals.
Her? She's scared out of her wits. You better stay that way, too.
Miss Martha, they murdered your folks.
Did we?
No.
You keep on saying that. And don't be trusting that Johnny Law. He's just a man, just like us.
All right, pick him up. I said help him outside.
Oh. You're leaving me here?
You have a gun. You stay here in the cave, Miss Martha. They'll be hunting me, not you. All right, move. I said move!
You really aim to walk us all the way to Dodge, Herb?
Not yet. We're going to visit 2 graves first. Move.
All right, you 2 men get the blankets back of that wagon. Cover up the bodies. Come on. Mr. Carney, you shot Mr. Hildreth. Mrs. Hildreth stabbed herself while the girl was making her escape.
Oh, sure.
All right, back of the wagon. Come on, move. All right, now turn that wagon over. I said turn it over. Wrap him up. Now, I don't know why you boys want to hang for Carney and Olson. It was their idea.
Button up, both of you.
What we told the stage driver was gospel truth.
All right, move over here. Put your hands behind you.
Drink lots of coffee, Herb. Olson and the boys are gonna move in as soon as it gets dark.
Maybe I ought to give Ollie a lantern, so you don't get hurt by mistake.
There's the girl riding Herb's horse.
Oh.
We'll kill Herb and take that girl alive.
Miss Martha, I told you to wait in the cave.
6 or 8 men over there. I think they belong to him.
Get down. Get behind the wagon. They spot you?
I don't know. I couldn't be sure.
You'll wait until after dark. You feel better, Miss Martha?
A little. That's close enough.
Smart gal. She don't trust him or nobody.
I should kill all of you.
Only 5 shots in that gun. What about those men yonder?
You'd be dead and I could use your guns.
Start shooting.
Where are they?
Carney murdered him, don't you remember?
Tell him. It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Sun's almost down. Olson and the boys will be moving in.
He thinks you're talking to a dead Johnny Law.
You should all be dead, every man in this horrible wilderness.
Miss Martha, I didn't kill your folks, and I'm trying to help you now.
And I should trust you?
You better really watch him.
That's enough out of you, Connie. Miss Martha, you're my only witness against Connie. Now, it's my job to see that they all hang. Now, if you don't think there's any difference between me and them, you take a look behind my horse.
Mama? Papa? No, not now.
Miss Martha, my chief deputy has standing orders to trail me with a posse if I don't get back to Dodge within a reasonable amount of time. That means I left Dodge about an hour ago. But Carney's men will move in before they get here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, if they move in, I'm going to have to shoot to kill. I'm fairly fast, but I may not be fast enough.
Then kill me first.
No, Miss Martha, I want you to live. And I want you to testify in court. They did kill your mother and father, didn't they?
Yes.
All right. I want you to tell me what happened.
I don't remember.
Bright girl. You stick to that and you'll live.
I warned you, Connie.
Oh. He deserved it. God forgive me, but he deserved it.
He pretended to be our friend. We were stalled near the river crossing when he came along. We were supposed to meet an Iowa wagon train across the river. But our horses were tired out and we got stuck in the sand. Then Mr. Carney and his friend, the one he calls Olson.
Trouble, folks?
Yes, sir. We should have tested the sand first.
Well, that don't look so bad. You boys each grab a wheel, will you? You ladies just stand clear, will you? Sweet, give me a hand up front. All right, let's go! You just fall in behind the last wagon, Mr. Hildreth. We'll look after you.
We'll be grateful, Mr. Carney.
Let's roll!
Mother didn't trust Carney, but Papa said we had no choice. We were heading into Indian country. We tried to keep up with the freight wagons, but our horses couldn't do it. Papa figured we were only a little way behind. He said if any Indians appeared, he could fire his rifle in the air and Mr. Carney would come and help us. Instead...
Martha! Tonight! Run! Run, Martha! Run, Martha!
Finish him off.
I should have tried to help Mama, but she kept screaming for me to run across the river to the caves. It's better to stay and fight. I know that now.
Not really, not in your case. They would have gotten away without punishment.
We'll get away, Herb.
It'll soon be dark. They'll be coming in. Come on, you get down here behind this wagon. Stay there.
I'll use your shotgun. I can hit something with this.
No. It's loaded with buckshot. Just good for the last rush. Here. Yeah, I'm paid to do this. You, let me earn my keep, huh?
Give the others time to close the circle. We've got to move in point blank.
Yeah. Miss Martha, I want you to reload for me. You open the gate, use this rod to eject the bullet. Like that. You take your bullet, put it back in your cylinder, twist it around, reload. That's close enough. I'll shoot the first man that moves. Take your time. Don't rush it. Reload. Don't worry about it.
Turn it loose, sir. Ross has already been hit.
It's too bad. There are 3 of them left over there, 2 over there. You watch those 2 over there. I'm going to work my way around the wagon. It's too dark to shoot. Here, load that. Give me the bunt line. Use the shotgun if you have to.
Herb's down. Move in.
You all right?
I guess so.
Come on, you yellow bellies, rush him!
He says Russian. What do you say?
Well, we gotta try it. Carney will know who spooked out on him.
I'm not going to take any risk, Connie. You call him off.
Or else you'll shoot me in the back.
That's right. Both barrels.
You head for the wagon. I'll try to draw his fire by dodging around in front.
He's got us! Stop shooting! Drop your guns and come on in! You hear me?
Must have threatened to kill Carney and the others.
Yeah. Carney must have spooked himself. All right, down on your knees. Down on your knees. Keep your hands up in the air.
You men check out there and see if there's any survivors left.
Sure didn't leave much for us, did you?
They were almost getting to be more than I could handle, Mr. Gibbs. Miss Hildreth, this is my chief deputy.
Howdy, ma'am.
I'm glad to know there's more than one policeman in the state of Kansas.
You sit down and relax yourself.
Tell me one thing.
Yes?
Would you really have shot Mr. Carney if he hadn't called off the fight?
Well, Miss Martha, the law has to be just as tough as any scattering of hoodlums on any frontier. I'd have shot him.
So would I.
Well, you learned your first lesson as a pioneer woman. You have faith that the majority of men are decent. And they are. Just in case you keep a .45 and a shotgun.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told.
Many bitter things have been written about the Western railroads, and some of their tactics in the 70s were questionable. What is now known as the Santa Fe War or the Finney County War was started by corrupt land speculators in Finney County who tried to drive honest farmers off the land they had bought from the Santa Fe Railroad. Dodge City was a Santa Fe town, and still is, and Marshal Wyatt Earp had many friends among the railroad men. But Wyatt had to know the truth, and the truth was obscured in violence and blood.
But I don't see how you can blame the Santa Fe.
You sold us the land. Then you let these thieves from the county seat mix up the legal records so they can claim our property. This time they killed 2 more people doing it.
But I'm only the chief special agent for the Santa Fe. I don't see how you can expect us
We ain't asking for nothing. All the farmers in this part of Kansas has joined the Grange. We'll fight this out if we have to.
No. No, I'll get help from our chief officials.
Well, get it quick. Or we'll hang these murderers to your water tanks every mile from here to Dodge City.
Wyatt, hold it. Dan Christie of the Santa Fe is waiting in your office. I tried to keep you out of it, but they got orders from the chief U.S. Marshal in Topeka.
What about?
Well, the Grangers are hanging land thieves in Finney County. They swung 2 from Santa Fe water tanks yesterday.
That ought to discourage passenger traffic.
Wyatt, you ain't taking sides against the railroad.
Oh, Mr. Kelly, I take sides with law and order.
The whole thing centers around Garden City. Grangers seem to think the sheriff's in cahoots with those land speculators.
Well, sir, we had Grangers back in Illinois, and they were just ordinary dirt farmers that organized together for good freight rate, decent market price.
You don't know Deacon Burns. He's a fighter.
All right. I'll head for Garden City first, see what I can find out from there.
We need Wyatt here in Dodge. If the Santa Fe won't call in the Army, you could at least hire him a posse.
All right. How many will you need?
Well, I don't know yet, sir, but you better move some special agents in here to Garden City. Move them in a sleeping car. Make it look like they're deadheading back east with mixed freight.
Lift them, friend. You're covered.
I'm Wyatt Earp, United States Marshal. Where's Sheriff Johnson?
I'm Sheriff Johnson. Tie up and come on in. And lift your hands. Wyatt Earp, you say? Also the Dodge City Marshal?
That's right. I don't like guns poked at me.
Sorry. All right, boys. Let's talk in the shade, huh? Now, these are the legal land deeds as certified by the county court. Now, they don't square with what the Grangers claim they bought from the Santa Fe, but I can't help that.
Who's on the county court?
Judge Prentice, 3 county commissioners, the clerk, and the recorder.
Any of them own land?
Why, sure, we all own land.
No, I mean, do any of the members of the county court own land that's claimed by the Granger people?
Hey, now, which side you on? Sounds like the deacon.
Hold it. Put it back. I'd like to meet Deacon Burns.
Hold your fire. I'm after that government man who's conniving with Johnson. You arresting that skunk?
No evidence, yeah? You Deacon Burns?
Sam Burns. They just call me Deacon.
Well, I'm Wyatt Earp. They call me Deacon, too.
Well, I'll be. They sent us an honest policeman.
I came here to get the truth.
We'll get your horse and come with us. Can't we talk here? No, we can't. Johnson's riders will be coming in pretty soon. All right. So long, Sheriff. Don't you pick that up until after we leave. He won't. Hired gunslingers do his bushwhacking. Ace, you and Tom ride out and collect the men. Tell them there's a meeting at my house. Right away. As I was saying, their own tax books will show that the Finneys themselves decided what was legal or illegal in the way of land deeds. Well, Johnson admitted that. Where's the land title book? Back in his office. I guess I should have grabbed it. Won't make much difference. We got a little war on our hands. Well, little wars aren't allowed, Deacon. That's what you say. Us Grangers put everything to a vote. You speak your piece at the meeting. And forgive us for hanging those murderers to the Santa Fe water tanks. The Santa Fe ain't really responsible, but us folks need help from somebody, Lord. We're sick of the hanging and killing. We know we're miserable sinners, and we plead for thy mercy. Amen.
Amen.
Folks, Marshal Earp has been sent here by the government. Seems like a right bright young fella, and I hope he has an idea for ending our troubles. Speak out, Marshal. Well, sir, I think you ought to give me a few days to get some evidence against the Finney gang. If I get it, I'll form a posse and arrest them. All right. White wants a truce for a few days. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Now shut up. I'll get a vote for a truce if I have to whoop a couple of them with my bare fists. You ride back to Garden City. Try to grab that land title book. Yes, sir.
All right, man, here comes Wyatt now.
We were afraid those Grangers are going to hang you.
I'm mighty happy to see the railroad helping in this. No, the Grangers wouldn't bother me. It's the Finney gang that started all the trouble. How many guns have they got?
Too many.
I'm gonna take a ride back to Garden City, see if I can work on Johnson.
Now, there's an Army patrol riding north from Camp Supply. And we better send for him?
Yes, sir, but meanwhile, I wish you'd trail me back to the city. I'll tell you what I have in mind.
Now, I don't like the looks of it, Judge. I think we should wipe out the Grangers.
Well, can't Earp be handled?
How?
That's your job. Now, we need a clean record before the showdown, whatever the cost. We can't have a deputy United States Marshal reporting against us.
Well, Earp said he'd be back, Judge.
Well, then he'll be back. And you try to buy a good report from him.
All right, Mr. Christie. You send just one man in to wire the Santa Fe. If I get the evidence, I'll expect you near the train.
I wouldn't want to pull out on you, Wyatt.
You won't be, sir. Now, the Grangers and the Finneys are going to have a showdown. You wouldn't want a Santa Fe special agent on the firing line, would you?
Oh, I guess not. Company wouldn't stand for that.
All right, sir. Then you just get the goods on Sheriff Johnson. Let's hope the Army gets there in time. I'm going to head for Garden City.
Now, play it smooth, Ben. Offer him a section on the river. Get a smile on your face, Sheriff. Here he comes.
Those stupid Grangers, letting him get away. Hiya, Marshal. Come on inside. I wouldn't try to stop what's going to happen. I'd be practical.
Practical?
I'd grab me a nice tract of land and tell those folks at Topeka that the Santa Fe sold farms it didn't own.
Well, how much land?
Well, half a section? All right, a full section, bottom land.
Well, who's going to give that to me?
Your friends.
Well, it sounds good. I'd like to see a layout of it.
You just take a look at the plot, and when you've written your report, you can just pocket the deed. Page 29, section 12.
Lie down.
What?
Lie down on the floor.
See you later, Mr. Johnson.
Ben's talking too much. Or he didn't put it over. You go in there and cover Earp. We'll do the rest out of town. That book, take him!
Here's the phony land title. Get on that train and head for Dodge. I'm gonna warn Deacon Burns. Why? I'll see you in Dodge. The truce is over and no Wyatt Earp. This means a showdown fight. Go collect the men. You women got your orders. Head south. All right, get going.
Time to fight. We hit Deacon Burns' place first.
What about the soldiers, Judge?
Don't worry about them. All you have to whip is a passel of hicks.
All right, boys, let's mount up. Howdy, Mr. Burns. No evidence, I reckon, huh?
Oh, yeah, plenty. Plenty. Turn it all over to Mr. Christie, the Santa Fe. You get any word from that man that headed for the army camp?
Not yet. Load the rest of that dynamite on the wagon and cover it with hay.
Right.
It's going to be a mean fight, Wyatt. You better head for Dodge.
I think you ought to wait for the soldiers.
They won't give us that much time.
Pick them off with sniping fire. You got plenty of men.
That ain't the plan we voted on. We voted to wipe out the Finneys. You fighting or leaving?
I can't do either one. It's my job to see what happens and make a full report.
We could use your help.
If you really need it, I'll join in. You voted to massacre the Finneys, huh?
The idea was suggested, Wyatt. Why, you... Everybody up the hill. It's our turn to do a little bushwhacking. All right, boys. Go!
To settle with these Grangers before the army can interfere. They'll all be gathered at the Deacon's ranch. We hit them fast.
I think we should take care of Wyatt Earp. He's trouble, Judge.
Our men are all duly sworn officers of the law. It's our word against Earp's. Now get 'em moving, Ben.
We hit Deacon Burns.
Turn the horses around and take off the tongues. Here. Let them get off their horses and move into the yard. Then shoot slow and careful.
Right.
This meet with your approval, son?
Well, sir, they can sure do a lot of damage to your property.
But not to the land. It's the land that matters. A farmer can make it from good land if he has to live in a tent.
May I make a little suggestion? Why don't you send some of your men down the hill, both sides, both flanks. They can get a crossfire that way.
I'll attend to it. You, sure you wouldn't like to take charge of this fight, Wyatt?
No, sir. I'm just an official observer, but I will get my rifle just in case.
Amen.
Looks like the deacon has cleared out, Judge.
That's all right. We'll burn up his house and barn.
They're lugging cans of coal oil, Deacon.
Trying to burn a man's house is a felony, ain't it?
Yeah, it sure is.
Remember that.
Fire back! Keep him down! Get in there and burn it!
Deacon, you better have your men on the flanks move in. We'll make them take cover in that bunkhouse over there. You men on the right, move in. And on the left, move in. I'll go down there. You take over now. Come on, boys.
Wait a minute, Deacon.
You men on the left there, move into the right. Cover that bunkhouse.
Place to go. Look!
Scatter them horses.
Over there! Get them! They're coming to stampede our horses! Cut them down!
Now, boys, we'll drive them into the old bunkhouse. Couple of you shoot your way into the house. Put out that fire. Put out them fellas that lit it.
Hold your fire! We're gonna make a rush for that bunkhouse. All right, now, pour it on!
Go to the bunkhouse. I'm going to talk to the deacon. You got the bunkhouse surrounded.
Good.
Maybe they'll submit to arrest.
That ain't what we want. We want him killed.
My job to arrest him.
He's right, Deacon. For a fighting man, you're the chickenest hearted about killing I ever did see. Well, go ahead. It's worth a try, I guess.
All right, Sheriff Johnson. I want you and your men to come out of there with your hands up.
What do you say, Judge?
No, we can hold out here for a week.
Without water?
Well, the deacon would hang us.
Not with Earp in charge, Judge.
Yeah, well, Earp ain't in charge. Nobody can boss those Grangers but Deacon.
Make him answer yes or no.
Time's up. You coming out?
No! Tell Deacon to come in and get us!
About gotcha, huh? Now we'll do it my way. Everybody back up the hill. Aim her down the hill, boys. All right. Point her at the bunkhouse. We'll light her up and then let her roll. Hold it.
Deacon, blowing up that bunkhouse is stupid.
A man shouldn't point a gun at his friends, Wyatt.
Look, you got the Finneys bagged. The Army Patrol will be here pretty soon. Now, blowing up that bunkhouse is just plain murder.
They shot at you when your back was turned.
That'll be in my report. But I don't want to have to report that the Grangers killed a bunch of men who were cornered.
Grab him! I'm sorry, son. But you ain't had relatives and neighbors killed from ambush. All right. Light her up and we'll let her roll.
Sheriff, look! They're trying to burn us out! They got a flaming wagon! Let's get out of here! Come on!
I bet you got them all. Let's go find out.
Dad blasted, only 6 hired guns left. Johnson and them others died too quick. Rustle me 6 ropes, boys. We'll finish this right now.
Right.
Hold it.
Deacon, these men are my prisoners.
I don't want to hurt you, son. Why do you keep crowding us folks into a gunfight?
There's been enough hanging without trial. Now, you men think about it for a minute. Deacon, you'd be first. Captain, I'm a United States Deputy Marshal. I have 6 very badly wounded prisoners here, 10 dead over yonder. Mr. Burns here and his people want to hang him by lynch law.
Nonsense. Sergeant, round up the prisoners. We're trying to get them into town as soon as possible.
Yep.
On the toes! Forward! No!
Marshal. Wyatt.
Yes, sir?
Us Grangers want to say a prayer for you at meeting tonight. You, got any objection?
Well, thank you, Deacon. I can always use a prayer.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be
আপনি কিন্তু দেখতে যথেষ্ট সুন্দরী একজন মানুষ, দেখতে বেশ রোমান্টিক। যেন শেক্সপিয়ারের নাটকের কোনো নায়িকার মতো। ভেবেছিলাম, কিন্তু আপনি তো পুরোটাই মর্মান্তিক। যে কোনো মানুষ আপনাকে দেখে মর্মাহত হতে পারে।
আমার হালকা হতে 1 মাস সময় লেগেছে।
আপনার 1 মাস সময় লাগে? আমার হালকা হতে তো 1 মিনিট লাগে।
আমার কাছে মনে হয় জীবনসঙ্গী এমন হওয়া উচিত যার সাথে আপনি প্রতিটা মুহূর্ত উপভোগ করতে পারবেন, সারাক্ষণ খুনসুটিতে মেতে থাকতে পারবেন এবং তার মনে এমনভাবে বসবাস করবেন যে আপনার দিকে সে একটাবার তাকালেই বলে দিতে পারবে যে তার বেঁচে থাকার কারণই আপনি।
পথে চলতে চলতে, কথা বলতে বলতে, কখন যেন হলে আমার
জানি গল্পে গল্পে মিশে অল্পে অল্পে আমিও হয়ে গেছি তোমার।
ছোট ছোট ভুল ফুটে হলো ফুল যে তোমাকে পেলাম,
গুটি গুটি পায়ে স্বপ্নের নাই আমি ভেসে গেলাম।
আপনি কি মনে করেছেন একজন মানুষ আমার জীবন থেকে চলে গিয়েছে এবং আপনি সেই সুযোগটা কাজে লাগিয়ে আপনার ফিলিংসগুলো আমার কাছে এক্সপ্রেস করবেন আর আমি সেটা হ্যাপিলি অ্যাকসেপ্ট করে নিব? এই হচ্ছে আপনার বন্ধুত্বের নমুনা?
রোদের পাখি তোর শহরে আমার মনের স্বপ্ন ঘিরে, ওরে পাখি ওরে সারাক্ষণ তোর শহরে বৃষ্টি হলে ভিজে আমার মন।
Cảnh vệ này, 3 cảnh vệ rồi, 4 cảnh vệ, cảnh vệ 2 luôn, còn biết tưởng ra cái gì á? Có cảnh vệ à? Ui, bài này đánh as cảnh vệ nhở? Hóa cung xanh à? Được phết. As cảnh vệ. Nó thì lướt này. Cảnh vệ rồi. Đánh chung bài 4 tranh. Cảnh vệ, as cảnh vệ thì sẽ là phần đầu rồi. What the hell? Catlin đâu? Đây. Đây. Thôi đây sao mình nhớ mà. Kệ đi. Cứ cho cảnh vệ vào đã. Bùi gỡ, bùi gỡ. Rồi, vừa đủ. Vừa đẹp. Cung xanh này. Vô cực rồi. Cung xanh vô cực với cả cuồng đao à? Dấu có cuồng đao, xít có. Chắc là chim quá rồi. Chắc thế. 82 máu à? Trốn nhỉ? Sẽ một chút trốn đấy. Mình sẽ lái cái này trước. Ok. Tốc độ cao đét. Ok được rồi. Cảnh vậy à? Có nhà đánh sư danh hóa này, thằng đấy át à? Chưa ai để quả át à? Nhà cái đánh lắc. Này cũng không phải thôi, không ai át thì lụ. San mà gì à? Xin ra chơi. Nắp tổ xin ra tạm đi. Xin la là ra tỷ đấu sĩ à? Mình đánh trở thành đấu sĩ tiếp và ra một tí ấy. Tí đấu sĩ ạ, quý đéo chịu được mà anh đã stop rồi, có thấy không? Anh nhầm tí nó xóa, tí thầy nhót, này mà bình tĩnh tự tin và tự tin bình.
ভালোবাসা সুন্দর, ভালোবাসাও সুন্দর, মানুষ নিজের অজান্তেই ভালোবেসে ফেলে।
আমার মনে হয় কি জানেন, আপনার মতো জানাশোনা কাউকে না আমার বিয়ে করা উচিত।
এটা কি উপলক্ষে?
ম্যাডাম, ফুলটা গ্রহণ করুন, তারপরে বলতেছি।
ভোটার আইডি কার্ডে যার স্বাক্ষরের জায়গায় টিপসই দেয়, এখানে কেউ ডাক্তার।
এই দুইজনের মধ্যে যে আগে ম্যাডামের মন জয় করতে পারবে, ম্যাডাম তার।
একদিন না দেখলে তোমায় বন্ধু আন্ধার লাগে সব, তোমার এই প্রেমে এমনই টান।
রোগীদের তো ডক্টরের কাছে আসলে ব্যথা কমে যায়, আপনি তো উল্টো হলো কেন? আপনি কি একটু উল্টা?
তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, তোমায় ছাড়িয়া যাব মরিয়া, যেও না বন্ধু আমার, ভুলিয়া।
আমার মনে হয় আমার সমস্যা কপালে। ম্যাডাম, আমার কপালে নেই, আমার কপালে আছে দাগ।
Thì 400 à? 400. Đây kiếm thêm năng lượng này. Somos 700 rồi, rebuff được một lần nữa. Ok. Giờ sẽ rebuff thêm 10 anh quay qua kia anh binh. Sẽ là bố của qua kia. Yes. Thua hoài à? Không cội thắng à? Át một thực sự là khó đấy. Sẽ lấy một cái đồ ánh sáng đi, sẽ là cái cung xanh ánh sáng đi. Hai cái giảm yếu hai bên nhỉ? Thôi cái phải đang kéo một cái vùng đồ. Về rồi 25 chắc là nốt nào nữa thì lên 8 vậy. Lại là cái thằng Zurich này, sao nó vẫn lên được con ấy 3 nhỉ? Như là con Zurich 3 ở đâu ra ấy. Rồi nó con Nautilus nữa, mình cầm tận 4 con Nautilus rồi chúng nó vẫn còn à. Ê xong ý làm mày không 3 rồi, thua không? Thua à. Ok rồi, đi rồi. Top mấy đây? Chưa đi, sắp đi. Anh đi xa rồi, anh không lái xe nữa, anh đắp mộ rồi, không thể là ride card được. Khóc U Linh à, em phải cút. Cút đi. Đây đi cho đỡ bị bắn vào đầu. Cày tê tại bị bắn cặp tự. Kéo ra. ra. Xì ra. Ui dồi ôi. Gặp bóng may mắn cô ba. Cô ba nhưng mà ít tiền không sao? Ít tiền. Tích xong rồi bao nhiêu máu? Có 5.000 máu rồi sao? Chắc thế. Bế mày. Đối kia ông chết à? Đối kia xét bế không được. Không thiếu mấy cái cùng dao. Chậm quá. Đây đừng người nó vả. Rồi nó vả trước à? Mày ý thua. Đi chợ nhà xem một cái cung đi. Sợ nhầm đi cung đi. Anh cũng sắp không đi rồi, anh sẽ được đi chợ trước. Ai à?
তোমাকে 15 লাখ টাকাই দিতে হবে। তুমি যদি দিতে না পারো তোমার বাবাকে কল দাও। তোমার যত জমি জিরাত বাড়িতে যা যা আছে এগুলো বেচা হইলেও তোমরা আমাদের টাকা পাই করে শোধ করবা।
একটা ব্যাপার কি খেয়াল করছো? শহরে কিন্তু দুইটা রূপ, রাতের এক রূপ, দিনের আর এক।
বেঁধেছি ঘর হৃদয়ের পর গাঢ় সবুজ ওই গহীন বনে।
আরে ব্রো, সবসময় চিল থাকতে হবে, কিচ্ছু মাথায় নেওয়া যাবে না।
ভালোবাসা হচ্ছে একজন আরেকজনের উপর ভরসা করে, একজন আরেকজনের হাতের উপর হাত রেখে এই জীবনটা কাটিয়ে দেয়। কিছু মানুষ এই রাত জেগে থাকে আর টাকার বিনিময়ে সুখ খোঁজে।
বসুন।
এখন তো সিরিয়াস হওয়া উচিত, তাই না? আমি তো কোথাও যাচ্ছি না পার্টি করতে। তুমি কেন যাচ্ছ? কেন বন্ধ করতে পারতেছো না বলো তো? কার যে কোথায় সুখ সেটা তার প্রিয় মানুষটাও কখনো জানতে পারে।
পাশাপাশি তবু যাচ্ছি বিপরীতে, কাছাকাছি তবু যাচ্ছি বহু দূরে।
হাই, ইউ লুক গুড।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Như phi công vậy. Ok, bay tiếp, bay cao. Thu rồi sao nhỉ? Thu rồi sao ấy? Rồi. Thằng Zena bắn đau lắm, Zena 2 đồ rồi. Chịu. Zena Sojin mấy cả cuồng đau, đấy hiểu. Vội vậy chồng. 6.8 à, vậy sẽ lên 7. Ok. Thằng nào phải đắp cho thờ red mà. Thôi đừng nói chung với nhau đây. Mèo 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 mèo. Trốn mày trốn. Lâm định mày nghe, lắp thằng này vào xong mày định từ cái xếp tiền nhé, thề thua cũng được không nào. Bạn cũng khỏe nhưng mà chúng nó còn quỷ hơn cơ. Nếu sao gian là 2 đồ đéo chịu được. Quỷ đó chịu. Sùng bài không vậy? À, kiếm tiền, tiến kiềm 138M, sử dụng nhiều ấy, không bay nữa thì thôi. Máy đẹp đét 400 mà 2 này 303. Thử để mình nghĩ chợ hay sao. Chưa đến lượt 4 này 117 à? Sẽ là một cái Sojin đi. Ok, quyết định sẽ lấy một cái Sojin đi. I'm go here. 707 triệu sẽ được lên 6.8. Tốc độ sẽ là mắc ping không? Quỷ ác quỷ phi phai. Tốc độ bù đắc bù nào vào. Mấy thằng này có một chút game thôi chứ. Thằng này rebirth 163 lần. Kệ vậy. Sojin thì con này hợp lý hơn này. Nhanh này là con bên kia nhưng mà đợi đồ bình tĩnh. Vội vãi. Xe hấp đủ rồi hả? 46 à? Đấy nó chỉnh cài nhót. 2 giờ 2008 gì 4 giờ đi học. Chuẩn không? Mai học xong nhá làm gì đi tập. Tài môn tổng sản tối tập tiếp. Chuẩn không? Nhiều đi quá này, ngon.
দরকার পড়লে একটা রিকশাওয়ালাকে বিয়ে করবো, তারপর তোকে বিয়ে করতে
তুমি যদি মরে যাও আমি তোমাকেই বিয়ে করব।
দেখো দেখো বিয়ে এত সোজা না।
5টা কন্ডিশন।
কয়টা?
5টা।
আমি জেডি সাফায়েত রমরাজন।
স্যার এটা তো ভোটার আইডি কার্ড স্যার।
বাড়িতেই করবেন নাকি হোটেলে?
না না, আপনি যেমনটা ভাবছেন বিষয়টা তা না। হ্যাঁ আপনি তো করবেন।
তোমাকে দিয়ে হবে না, আমি জানতাম। শুধু শুধু সময় নষ্ট করো না।
ভাই আপনি তো অনন্ত দলিল না যে অসম্ভবকে সম্ভব করে আপনার কাজ। জিমি জিমি জিমি
কি হচ্ছে?
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
আঙ্গের একদম ভইরা দিমু যাচ্ছে সব বাইট কর।
শর্ত দিয়ে বিয়ে শর্ত দিয়ে বিয়ে।
ভাই যে বয়সে মানুষ গার্লফ্রেন্ডের কামড় খায়, সে বয়সে আপনি কুত্তার কামড় খেয়ে হাসপাতালে ভর্তি হয়েছেন।
Chú ngoại rồi. Chôn búa à? À, anh nhặt anh quay liên tục mà anh biết đâu. Quay ra gì ra con legendary. Xong rồi cút. À đâu? Không có legendary không? Có à? Đâu? À, anh có biết đâu. Đâu để anh về mua một cái sao? Anh nhặt tiếp. Anh có biết đâu. Về gì ớt phải không? Đâu? Ôi kìa, sao tiến bay luôn chung. Đâu? Anh thấy có mỗi cái mà. À đây đây. Ở đây có 2 cái 5 này. Ơ, sao đây có 2 cái 5 nhỉ? À đúng rồi, 2 cái 5. Quyền mà, anh không để ý. Về. Ok. Ăn 1 tiếng rồi. Anh bây giờ anh thử thách. Anh thử thách mình. Anh đang thử thách nhặt 2.500 cái mũ xong thì thì tắt. Được. Tốt rồi. Em ơi. Đi ngủ đi rồi. Mai nó quay mày cho mà xem. Nhưng mà mày không nụ mày bảo tao xuống lấy xi à? Không có đâu. Bảo thằng Vũ là không gọi, nó bảo anh là xuống đấy thì gọi cho nó luôn, có để cho được máy bay của anh cũng gọi được, thì em phải lên phòng ấy, mất thông báo nó. Chọn broccoli, rồi nhặt một tí thôi em hai, bao nhiêu à? 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59 và 60. Bye bye các 1, video 3 ngày 7 tháng 6 2024. Cầu báo đéo thì chúng ta cũng bỏ ghi thôi. Bài tiếp cái game có ra rồi vào bút rồi để bút xong bay liên tục không được dừng lại thì đấy cái gì Hà cũng ghép nhạc vào nhỉ. 39 là cái buổi bài đấy thì lao à đột cả guitar chơi gần nhiều quá. Đi xin rồi phải để chết thôi. Chuẩn không? Đúng anh tiểu à. Máy bay tuyến giờ bao tiền nữa? Ta xem đi. Ở đây 200 tỷ 2 tỷ gần. À quay trứng đấy. Quay trứng legendary sự cho bám này. Anh ăn mà. Ăn mà. Ê, thua kìa, vẫn có ngoài. Auto mình xứng rồi thầy. Buồn đấy. Epic à? Được rồi, đi xin. Ai, con này. Đồ luôn. Nó xín máu à, sự bình thường. Xem nào. Con số gì epic. Con epic sao đấy? Quay được lắm. Trời, mình quay được 20 lần. Số đấy. Con nào? Rồi, rồi. Soroka, Kỳ Viên. Rồi, lập chết rồi. Kỳ Viên là vậy. Để cho Soroka xong. Kỳ Viên. Anh hợp lý không nhỉ? Là lọt cái mini. Ra gì rồi? Chỉ là gì như toàn epic thôi. Có ra cái gì khác à? Trốn nhở? 295. Không đổ á. Đổ đi. Kéo vào ra vàng, kéo đổ. Bao tiền? 100 triệu tiền. Hết tiền. Wow, trời, đấy là gì thật à? Nhóc, nếu hiểu. Ôi. Chưa. Cứ xin 2 giờ này chôn búa à? Ôi chưa. Game ơi. Bao nhiêu rồi? Bạp. Chi vậy. Ok. Đây rồi, thầy quay lại. Bài tiếp thôi đây. Lúc này đến 200 triệu tiền không ra một con xì xịn nào. Được vô ấy. Vẽ quỷ luôn mà. Ác quỷ Free đấy. Em bút cho rồi. Chỉ được bay thôi. Ê, lúc này cũng hiện điểm chưa đến nhỉ. Khi được mấy tỷ bằng. Không nhiều á. Chưa đủ quẹo rồi. Hai đéo carry được, thằng tanh quay yếu. Carry được rồi. Được, xong. Carry được đi, lại bỏ carry được đi. 61 máu à, đấy sao? Trốn nè. Bao nhiêu tiền rồi? 8 tỷ, sự là quá nghèo. Để xin bút cho em nhé. Bút luôn từ đầu. Mày bắn như tên lửa cho thầy. Yes, binh chilling. 51 tiền à? Lên chết 7, chết 8 à? Sau này sẽ 4.1 đến chết 8 mà mình thực sự nghèo ấy. Ta đi xin 2 rồi. Một tanh yếu. Đến chết 7 nhất đi lao à? Không, tanh yếu quá. Đấy, giấu rồi. Giảm 5 phép này. Đây. Căng đấy. Ui, lag rồi. Cái gì đây? What the hell? Anh bẽ ác quá lỗi luôn, nhưng mà và phải chưa? Làm đắp bộ rồi. Nhưng mà đắp bộ mà. Chôn à? Mà đắp bộ luôn mà chôn búa. Bẽ ác quá thì mà đắp bộ mà. Nhờ số hóa super gian nhỉ? Kinh ấy. Các quỷ luôn mà. Trời nhanh mà nhẹ đấy. Bay qua mấy tỷ cái vệ tinh rồi. Sao có một con này? Một con. Đừng có à? Xin đi rồi. Xin bảo mà tanh yếu xin 2 sao chịu được. Đó, sao có một con pet này. Đừng có à? Ba con như một, nhưng mà nó hiện một con nát. Cười mất vui đây rồi, đây. Cười mất. Tứ phương tiếp viện này. Nhưng mà toàn nói đồ à. Rồi, người đơ rồi. Đúng tiền sự cũng nhanh nhanh ấy. Rồi không vậy. Chuẩn không? Chuẩn không? Nhanh đét mà. 8 tỷ có mỗi con mà. 3 con như một để mỗi con. Nhưng bên trước vẫn để 3 con để khác nhau. Không ta. Bên trước vẫn để 3 con để khác nhau mà. Wow. Dốc dốc không? Dốc của đi cho đét không? Rồi, gây thế sát thương. Rồi, đây là bảo có mỗi đi xin. Một khỏe đấy. Sự là có mỗi đi xin cũng được ấy. Anh phải từng tí nữa, từng tí nữa mới đẹp. Lên. Nè, bình. Nhai. Rồi hết rồi. Lên 8 thôi. Hết gì rồi. Này, có mấy máu rồi, 8 máu là 3 mà. Anh đang boost stock cho cái quân nhân vật của thời mây đấy. Trên này vẫn con mây vậy. Chú ta nhìn nhảy qua mây không? Mấy tuổi? 9 tuổi một lần à? Quý nhỉ? 1 tuổi rưỡi này, 3 tuổi này, 4 tuổi rưỡi, 6 tuổi, 7 tuổi rưỡi, 7 tuổi rưỡi, 7 tuổi rưỡi, 8 tuổi rưỡi à? 9 tuổi, 9 tuổi, 9 tuổi, rồi xong, 9 tuổi, 6 lap, 9 tuổi, về ơi, 8 tuổi rồi, 8 tuổi hơn, 9 tuổi, yes. Chưa bút à? Chạy thêm một tí nữa, anh xem không bút, yes. 6-7 tuổi là 6 lần quay, đi. Anh còn ra One Legend đấy cho chị hẳn đấy. Galio kiếm mà. Sojin à, có rồi. Galio kiếm nó sẽ là binh binh ấy, thằng đánh sử ra ấy. Rồi thằng mất không ấy. Không có cách hiện giá luôn. Bình. Mà ấy, sự quả quỷ ấy. Ô, được rồi đấy. Có 7 lap ấy. Nhưng bay kinh quá hay sao? Có 7 lap. Bay nhanh quá trong cúp mà. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gọi như là 2 có tí tanh ấy. Gọi là có tí tanh ấy. Để không ngoài. Ô, mua ra. Cái nó. Xong. Galio rồi. Galio và Juliet. Xăm qua, xăm độc dược với cả xăm bảo hộ. Kinh. Cái gì? 7 lap à? Mình 7 lap là mắc mà. Quên mất. Chuẩn không vậy. Chim trồ à? Nắng bình thường.